it is so hard to, I better wait till that water gets hot. Have you put salt in it yet?
A little bit.
Okay. It's so hard to judge. Now there's no voice on that, is it?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Don't put no voice on it. I'm waiting until that gets hot. I don't want to put that chicken in there when it's... See, now it looks richer now. Then I got that. I'm
Yeah,
going to
so I stir it up.
Yeah, I'm going to thaw it up. I mean, I'm going to thaw that chicken broth up.
So that chicken's not quite ready?
No. No, I thought if we put it in this hot water and cook some more, you've got a big thing there. So that's
We're ready to use the smaller one we can.
It's getting ready to boil. Good.
That's what it's supposed to look like?
Yeah,
But the chicken's not quite ready.
that's right. If you go, you know, you can eat this chicken later.
Mm-hmm.
And while this chicken's cooking, we'll start cooking cornbread.
All right.
And then by the time the cornbread gets done, we'll be ready to mix it.
Okay.
But you did real good. Go buy it and then get it cooked and ride how far? 60 miles. Okay, now we'll let that cook till we get some more broth. Where's my tongue? I remember one year. Now you don't have any voice on that. Please don't. Okay. One year for Christmas, just for my family, I made chicken stew. And I cooked 3 chickens. I'd cook one, then I'd take it out. Then I'd take another one, take it out, take it off the bone. All of it. I told them, I said, now next time we have chicken stew, somebody else gonna cook a chicken.
A lot of chicken.
Cornbread left.
All right.
All right, I'm gonna show you how to kind of have guessing. Okay, now if you were gonna do this pan, well now you wouldn't be making this much, but if you were gonna do that,
This one, that's why I brought it.
no, I won't use mine.
All right.
Because I know, but just come in, I'll just show you.
I don't have yours.
I will show you now. I would think, just guessing, that big pan there would have that much meal.
How much was that? Almost 2 cups.
Cup and a half.
Cup and
Cup and a half, okay. I'm just telling you.
So mine might be, is that one bigger over there?
Nope, not really.
So about the same as
I
that.
tell you, get that tablet well yonder, and you can write down what I'm going to put.
All right.
All right, for your big pan, we're going to make 2 things of cornbread,
All right.
but I'm just going to tell you how to make
All right.
1. Okay. All right, 2½ cups of meal.
2½
2½ cups of meal.
All right.
1/4 cup of flour. Okay, now that's for you. If you were going to make it in that, but I'm going to make it in this one.
All right.
Okay, now we're going to do another pan. Now you don't have to mark this
All right.
pan.
I'm pretending like I'm not doing that.
No, this is for another cake. Okay, I'm going to do about the same thing.
What kind of meal is that?
Tender bake. Tender bake, and I'm putting about the same flour. This is a new one, so let me get this. It's a good thing I bought this, because I didn't know when I bought it that I was going to get you to do this. See, I'm heating the oven.
What is that to?
Mine, I cook at 425, but your oven might be different.
You think yours is hotter, warmer?
Older. You know, when the stoves get older.
Yeah.
Now this is self-rising meal. Okay.
All right.
Well, I can't get it open now. All right, you come over here and start stirring.
All right.
Now use sweet milk. Okay, look right under there. Right there, get that can of Crisco behind that one. Okay, open that. I think that's gonna make two.
You want to open this new one?
Yep. Okay.
All right.
All right. Okay, put those two pans in the oven.
All right, you just put a little glob in each.
Yeah. Yep. Some light if you want to turn it on. Is that fine enough? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna pour. Let's see, I better measure my milk so you'll know. Okay. Wait a minute, you use a 3/4 cup of milk
Okay.
for your pan.
Okay.
But now I'm putting more in here for 2. Okay, now come over here and start stirring.
All right.
And then come over here and as you stir, add just a little bit of water to make up your cornbread. Chicken doing good. Okay, come over here now and start adding some water.
Okay.
Just keep stirring till you get it. I wonder if we're gonna have enough. Okay, a little bit more water. A little bit more. All right, now let's see if that's gonna be. Might be a little tiny bit more. See, I'm guessing. You just have to guess.
Yeah, until it's kind of smooth.
Okay, now when we get this pans out, well now this is the way I do it. Now you probably, somebody else probably does it different.
How's that look?
Good. All right, bring your cornbread over here. I'll tell you what I do. Pour a little bit of this shortening in the pan,
Yeah.
and then I just put a little flour. Where's the cornbread?
Right here.
Oh,
Pour that in here.
yeah, and then pour. Okay, now just put that in 2 different pans. Whatever, just kind of divide it. I may not be done made enough, but you got the idea. If we don't, we can stir up another. Whoa, these go on that one. That looks good.
Just enough.
it out. Do we guess at it right?
Yeah. What do you think?
All right,
I got a little bit more in here.
pour it all, put it all in there.
And which one?
The big,
This is the big one?
yep. That's, we're gonna mix it with dressing. We probably mix whatever you want to mix. I think the milk and the shortening makes the dressing better. We got it just right, didn't we?
So you always put milk in it, right? A little bit.
Yeah, but you know, Curtis makes his dressing with canned broth.
Yeah.
It's good, but it's not as good with as
Making it with the real.
the chicken broth. That's what I'm trying to say.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, now we'll see if we need to make some more. We'll leave this out.
So how long does it cook?
I just keep watching it rot. Your oven door have a glass door.
Yeah, it does.
Well, you can, different ovens cook different times. Well, let's see how this chicken doing. We might, what did I do? Oh, my spoon. You ever lose what you're doing?
All the time.
What did I do with this? What did I do with that?
No, I took it back to the store.
Oh, they don't have them wrapped together?
Yeah, I had gotten 2 whole packs.
And they took one of them back?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's going to be broth in there too?
Mm-hmm. See, that's what I wanted, a little bit more. Oh, that's something you have to guess at. Right through a strainer to get all this chicken out. What would you do with this chicken after when you get ready, when you take it home?
I don't know. Do you want to keep it? 'Cause
No. No, no.
you can make stew out of it. Isn't that what you make stew out of?
What if it had some more fat? What have you ever, y'all make chicken salad?
Oh.
Y'all ever make chicken salad?
We make chicken and rice. That's probably what we make.
Well, you need some broth. Well, maybe we'll have a little bit of broth left.
Yeah. No, actually, I don't need a lot of broth for that. I don't need a lot of broth for that because we put it in some soup.
Well, you don't. See, we got to wait down the cornbread gets cooked, and then start braiding up onions. I had a peach cobbler in this pan over here, and I made it last night and didn't have enough sugar.
Yeah.
So I put some more sugar in it and put it back in the oven and had to let my pan soak.
Yeah.
The main thing is how much cornbread we got. That's one thing. Oh God, don't hear much about wedding anymore. He don't talk about it.
So you're straining out the broth now?
Straining out that chicken. There. I think I'll put those bones in there. Get a little bit of strength. Well, now, if you were doing all this yourself, you wouldn't have to do all of this. If you just cook a chicken and do a thing of cornbread. You wouldn't have to try to get more broth. We're trying to get as much as we can for 2 big things of cornbread.
I'm gonna eat one of those things with cornbread.
If you need some corn, we'll just put another cake in there.
Maybe that could be a test at the end, see if I can do it.
Yeah. But I tell you, you remember when Martha made a big pot of soup at your house, and I was gonna cook cornbread, and it stuck. Jackie was sitting there and said, "Oh well, it don't matter if it's good in soup."
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Little piece of cake in there and some peach pie.
Yeah, I might get some peach cobbler in a little bit.
Do you want it now? While we're not too busy?
Well, it might be a good time.
Okay. It don't look too good because
No. What do you think?
This cornbread. It's hot, but it's all right to work with. It's hot. Okay, just crumble it up in there, just however you can get it. If it's too hot, you know how to work with it.
Might just eat it.
Oh, that's yours you're going to eat. Well, this one's not ready to come out. Well, we'll make you another one to eat, okay?
No, why can't I eat that one?
This one won't be good. I tell you, just leave half of that. I forgot you wanted to eat that one. This might be too much for that broth. This one and that one. So leave that little piece. Do this one. Take that one out now and let me lay it over here. And we'll cook you another piece. Okay.
Are you free to go?
Okay, you can mix all, put it in that broth. I'm saving some over here and gradually work it together to see.
So you're saving some of the broth?
I mean, I'm just putting in there what. Here. Now just dump it in
Dump it in there?
Just dump it in there. You're going to be stirring a long time. You don't have to worry about it right now. We're going to be stirring a while. Okay.
So do the same thing with this one?
Yeah. I think it was Christmas, was 2 years ago. I had trouble with my hand, arthritis. And I had mixed a great big thing of dressing. I couldn't even lift the pot. So I had to get John David in here to hold the pot so I could put it in the pan. Okay, we got some. Now we need to put bread in there too, white bread.
All this in there?
Yeah. I hope it won't be too much. I got more broth over here, but I was just checking to see. Just don't take it too. Yep. Would that big old wooden spoon be different to stir it with, what you did to cornbread, or is that okay?
Might be better.
Well, I just...
What you just do,
Well,
jumped in some bread.
Yeah, light bread.
pieces?
Okay, that was 2 slices of light bread.
All
Okay,
right.
here's one more. It's the end.
All
I
right.
usually save them.
Both of those you just put in near the ends.
Yeah. I just put this one. You put all this in there. I don't believe it'll be too much. I need more broth. I believe we do. I might have to drain this out of this chicken. Let's see if I can get some of this. You want it just a little bit thin to start with, because when you let it set overnight, it's going to thicken up.
How's that seem?
Now we got to start on some onions. Alright, here's some peppers. Let's put those. If you like my dressing every Christmas, that's what I do. Just a lot of pepper. Okay, let me go get my little thing to start grinding up the onions. I just hate you go all this chicken and I don't know what you can do with it.
Why don't you keep some of it? Well, the problem is we're going to be eating so much turkey over the next.
Well, I tell you what you can do, Rod. You can freeze it.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
I freeze little packs and then bring it out and put it in something. Figured out. I always forget how to do it. I have to start all over again.
You just put these peels in this trash can.
Well, sir, I forget how to put this thing together. Now you got it. Okay. You know more about it. I always have to figure out how to do it.
Yeah, this.
Did you see what they said cut which end
Yeah.
off first? It don't bother you?
Mm-mm.
Well, here's a...
Hard to make me cry.
It'll make me cry after a while. Don't worry about that outside. I always take that all that white, that first line off because it's so tough. Just
Like
take
that?
that first, all of that off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All of that. I don't like that outside. All right, I just cut it in quarters. Let's see.
Well, these are strong.
I'm gonna show you what I do, and then I'm gonna leave. No, I'm gonna cook.
All right.
I'm gonna cook you some more cornbread.
I'm going to have to make the other batch of cornbread. I've got to do that.
Huh?
I've got to do that.
Okay. Well, whatever. Wait a minute.
How many onions?
Okay. Now you take that out and put the onion in the dressing.
How many do we have to do?
That's what Martha said. Mama, how much onion you put? So we're just going to put onions till we taste them. So this is the worst part. I can get it back now without bothering you. Ooh,
These are strong. I say they don't bother me, but my goodness.
Why is it I can't get it to do right when
Those are some strong onions.
What's Rod crying about? Can't even taste it.
I don't know. Come try it. I'm not the judge of it. Tastes good though.
You know, there's nothing no better than smelling dressing cooking.
Yeah, it does smell good. What do you think?
One more.
One more. I knew you were going to say one more.
I can taste it, but when it's cooked.
Right. You have to cry one more time.
Have you give up the contacts completely?
Yeah, my eyes are. You know, my mom was saying, I said, I can just bring it on Saturday. And she said, we don't have anything to go with dressing. I said, okay, I won't bring it.
Oh, you told Martha that?
Yeah. And she said, oh, no, bring it, bring it. She realized she wasn't going to have it. What do you think?
When I didn't taste it this time like I did before. Maybe I was kind of hold the one that was, I believe.
You want to put that other half in
You
there?
think it needs a little bit of salt? Are you a salt person?
Go ahead and put some in there. So what was that? How many onions did we just put in there? That was number. Was that 2.5 or 3.5?
Onions.
Yeah.
I forgot.
I think it was 3.5. Got this half here.
Well, we don't have any. I can cut that up and just put it in. I'll keep it frozen. I'll just put it in I got a little packet in here that it is a little strong.
So you think that's enough?
Don't you taste it?
Yep. Okay.
Blend that up and I'll just dump it down in here and then when I get ready to use it, over there.
So what do you do? Then put it in a pan. You said put little dabs of butter on the top.
Yeah, you grease it. If you're gonna cook it in that pan, just grease it or put whatever you use. A lot of people use Spam. I just take Crisco and put it in there and then put the butter on it and.
What do you cook it at?
I would start it off like 350.
Yeah.
And then you don't want to cook it real dry. You know, you want to cook it and then maybe turn your heat up a little bit. And so you did tell Martha something about bringing the dressing down there. Well, why couldn't she use this chicken?
I don't know. I don't know what she's planning on having.
Well, that's true.
But I don't think it was something that goes with dressing, but she would like to have some, though. Okay. Okay, the first question is, where were you born and when?
I was born in Great Falls, South Carolina. October the 9th, 1912.
1912. So how old does that make you right now?
92.
92. Who are you named after? Were you named after somebody? Who are you named after?
Then,
Where did James Fred Gaddy come from? Where did that name come from?
oh, the Gaddy name came from North Carolina. Waitsboro, North Carolina is where it started from.
Yeah. How about the James?
James Fred,
Yeah.
son, I couldn't tell you. They must have named him after one of them fellows that jumped off the ship or something.
All right. Did you have a nickname when you were a little boy?
Red.
Red?
Mm-hmm. I was redheaded.
Yeah. Like Meg?
Mama was redheaded, yeah. My hair about the color your little girl.
Yeah? I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
So called you Red as a little boy. How about as an adult? Did you have a nickname?
No.
No, just Fred. Did you know your grandparents?
No, I don't know my grandparents. I never got to see them. They're dead when I was born. And John Gaddy was my granddaddy.
Mm-hmm.
And my grandmama was, I got a picture in there. I just got it lately. After all these years, just got a picture. My cousin down in, Chirov.
Yeah.
She sent me a picture of Grandmama. And I never had seen a picture of her. She's a little lady, had 10 children when she died at 40 years old.
40. Had 10 children?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, no.
They had them 10, 15, 20 then, because they need somebody to help dig in the fields and work.
Okay. How about when you were a little boy, any chores that what was the chore that you really hated the most?
Oh, no, I don't have any. I just hated. I've done a lot of milking cows when I was a little old boy. But I didn't. Sometimes if I had something I wanted to do and I had to go milk, it's aggravating. Stop what I'm doing and go milk.
Go milk? What do you think during your lifetime was one of the most important inventions?
The most important inventions.
Mm-hmm. What do you think was the most important invention that you saw during your lifetime? It's been a lot.
Well, what I thought was the most interesting thing that I ever seen in my life was television. Man talking on the screen and, just like he's been there all the time or he's for real or something, and I couldn't figure where he come from. I was a little old boy. They had these little old battery set with a tube about that big,
Yeah.
And that's one thing, and telephone was another when it got to where you could put it up, hold it like that and talk. Used to be that these old cranking kind,
Yeah.
crank and somebody down the other end and get it and stick it in the plug or something.
It's pretty amazing. How do you think the world's different now than when you were a little boy? What are the biggest differences?
Well, I used to think an airplane come across was the greatest thing I ever seen in my life. Somebody sitting up in there in that put, and you could see him. I thought that was the greatest thing I ever seen was an airplane. Now they got them all kinds everywhere. And I'm sure the other thing too, that's just one thing that everybody run out of the house to see when you heard it. Put up there,
Yeah. Was there ever a time when you remember that maybe as a family you didn't have enough to eat because things were hard times? You ever get that bad?
No, we haven't. My lifetime, the biggest part of it was on the farm. And we had plenty to eat because we raised it. We, eat off the land. My mother always canned stuff, put up stuff like beans and squash and potatoes and peaches and all that. And we killed hogs and had sausage and ham and just, I can't remember too much. I've seen other people that were hungry.
Tell me about Luther. I remember you telling me about him.
Who?
Luther? Was that his name? Your friend?
Oh, that boy? My little buddy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, I think one of the worst things I ever seen in my life was, back then, if a man died and left his wife with about 6, 8, or 10, 12 children, a lot of them small, they had no orphanages then, nowhere to put them. You either handed them out to somebody to try to take care of them, or you give them away. And so most the ones that I ever seen and got so mad about was when they gave Luther away. And he was my little boy, little buddy. And I told him, he was the oldest in the crowd. I told him, come on, let's shoot a few marbles. And he said, no, Daddy died yesterday. Day before yesterday. And Mama's going to give us away. And she's going to give us away today. I said, give you away to who? And he said, I don't know. I don't know who will get me. I don't want to go, though. He's ready to cry. And I was, too. I had my buddy. And, they're coming in horses and wagons and all, mules and wagons and buggies. And come time to get Luther, this old man looked like about 6'5" and had on overalls come up to there, I think. But anyhow, big old man, he come over there, his wife said, well, you get him. And he pointed at him and said, let's go, boy. And the old boy, he got up me crying.
That's hard to believe.
And I went to crying too. And they put him up on the wagon. He turned around. Last time I seen him, come from York in a wagon. See, he waving at me.
That's unbelievable.
And I wondered about him. Oh, I wondered about him. But time went by about a year, I think, and I was down at the livery stable where he kept horses and mules and all that stuff to sell. The farmers went there a lot of times on Saturday to see if it was in the mules they might want to trade for or whatever. And I'd go down there too to look at them little ponies. But anyhow, I went down at the barn and there's people in there, a lot of them walking around. And this little boy come across there, standing in front of me. And I looked at him from behind his head there, and he looked like Luther. And I went around at the front of him, and that was Luther. And we grabbed one another, and we were talking. He looked bad. Old raggedy clothes he had on, and hadn't had a haircut right since he'd been up there. And I said, Luther, how you doing? He said, I don't know. Said he won't let me stop. I work all day long. Every time I get through with one thing, he'd get another. And he said, I don't have no time to even stop. And he's just a regular slave, see. And that's the last time I seen him. We talked a good little bit, but nothing I can do. They're scared to run away. They beat them bad.
So they gave away all the kids to that family?
Yeah, boy, there's some little one kicking them little feet, kicking. I can see them now hollering. And they were screaming, and they had to be taking them and going with them. He had about 6, 8 in the family.
That's amazing. It's unbelievable. All right, when you were a little boy, what were your favorite games to play?
Oh, when I was little,
Yeah, any, just a
or baseball.
baseball. That's what I would have guessed. What position?
Center field.
Were you what were you known as? Were you a power hitter or?
No, I was just wanted, just allowed to pop it, but I wasn't a long ball hitter. I didn't go for that. We had 3 boys out there in the outfield. Now I want to tell you something. If you want to get on base, you better put a drive on it, son. 'Cause then you out. One of them 3 gonna snag it if it's anywhere he's close to where he's at. That's his.
Yeah.
Skeeter Harden said not long ago, he said, you talk about baseball players and this, that, and the other. I wish somebody could have seen them 3 outfielders that we had playing when we was playing over at Armenia. That's over next to the farm. He said, I wish somebody could have seen them working. I tell you, he better drive it because somebody snag it. I just love center field. I love to work both ways, see. And then you could turn. We could run too. Ball was fast. Every one of us. One old boy hit one day. He thought he hit it a mile. I reached it when I went out. Let her drop in. One was going, and he come out across there, come down there. He said, I want to ask you something out here. What do you have to do to get a home run? We said, the only thing that we know is for just to hit it so far that we can't see it.
You see it, you're going to catch it.
We get it. We get it. I used to play a trick on them too, have one on home. It had knocked in not too far, on the ground, and have it one on third base, and I'd be pretty close to that ball, and he'd stand there for just a minute, just seconds, he knew that he'd go check things before we'd take off, and I'd knock the old ball down and kind of pump it around there, but watching him all the same time, and he said, I got him. He'd dig off. I'd snake it out there and lay it on.
Throw him out?
Throw him out. Had a good arm, When he slid in, the ball was waiting on him. Won it later.
Tell me about school.
I told somebody one day I went to a one-room schoolhouse. Down on the wall, I had reading and writing and arithmetic. Talk to the tune of a hickory stick. A sign up. And I told, don't put this down there, but I told somebody, now, if you could spell your name fully, and not make a mistake, they'd put you on the honor roll.
Well, lucky your name was short.
Hmm?
Your name was short.
Yeah.
Not many letters.
If you could spell it, and don't make a mistake, they'd put you on the honor roll.
So did you make good grades?
Oh, yeah. One thing I was sharp on, too, was remembering things. Good memory, going back.
Yeah.
And I could memorize things, too. I could take a page like that and go home at night. I just had a whole page like that.
Just memorize it?
Next morning I could recite it. Yeah.
How many years were you in school?
I was out there 10, but it wasn't no school. You more or less trained yourself. And see, I wanted to go to school or college. What I wanted to do, I wanted to study medicine. Bad.
Study medicine?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know that.
Bad. And so I had my plans already made. See, I'd go in South Carolina and beg them down there to let me work my way through school. They would do it back then. But if you worked, see, you live there and you go to school and work, and then you get free scholarship, you know, I mean, get free training. But I lived 5 or 6 miles from the closest school in town, and when I went through my 10th grade in the country, I had to have my diploma. In this next grade, they didn't have that grade because they didn't have no way to send them in the church to get the diploma, see. And I got upset, and I had it all planned out, what I'm going to do. And when I found that year, I went through the 10th, and I got the check, and I had to had diploma, and we didn't have no car. Nobody take me 5 miles a day, 5 there and 5 back, 10. I couldn't.
Long way then, huh? That was a long way then.
10 miles. I couldn't walk that little old boy, you know. Well, I wasn't no little old boy then. I wasn't no big boy no time. I was pretty good size, tough. But anyhow, I went back home, got all out of sorts, and just, I don't know, just got to the point I didn't care. Just kill what I'd done. I wasn't meaning nothing, but I just didn't have no get up to go and do something. I didn't care. And she took me and my mother downside of it and set me down on a little stool. And she rubbed me. And she talked to me all the time. She said, you know, Fred, I know how you feel. I didn't get to go to school either. I didn't get no further than the 5th grade in the country, as far as I could go. And she said, I know how you feel about your diploma. And there ain't nothing we can do because we can't send you. But she said, I want to tell you something. Listen to me now. I can hear her now. She said, you're going to be all right. You're going to be all right. And I said, ma'am, all right, how? She said, you just wait and see. Did I see something? I know all my little boys, 5 of them. But I see something in you. It's not in them. You got something in you. You're going to get out there and do something. I see it. But what she seen was the other boys, we had peaches, cherries, and all that stuff there, strawberries, and watermelons and things. And I'd get me had a little wagon there. I'd get me a mule hooked to that thing and get me a little stuff in it and go downtown to these back lots and everywhere, you know. And my other brothers wouldn't help me. They're older than me a little bit. They wouldn't go with me. And I'd go down there, I'd sold. I come back home, first thing I done, all run over, look in a little old wagon, see what was in it. People wasn't nothing in it. What'd you do with them? I say, none of your business what I done with them. If y'all want to know what I done with them, y'all went with me, help me. And they say, he sold them things. And I just said to myself, you better believe I sold them. And so I finally got to where I got the bigger wagon. I'd put stuff in there and have me a little load. I'd go down there and take my time up and down them streets around behind town, you know. And them old blacks would come out there, they'd find some money to buy something. And mostly, I sold out before I went home. And they'd come running up. Done all right today, didn't you? I said, none of your business. If you want to know what I've done, y'all wouldn't help me. And so I hid my money because them jokers sitting out there, they had got it all.
Were you the youngest of the boys?
Yeah. And then I had to take me a stick and busted one of them open. But that's where I started from. That's what Mom said. She told me, I see something. You take it, you go and pick you up some money. And it worked pretty good. And I told my mother, I said, I hid my money, you know, I had me a good place. And I told her, I said, I'm sure glad they didn't know where my money was at. And I said, ain't nobody but me and the Lord knew who that was. She said, you and the Lord and me.
Where was it?
Hmm?
Where did you keep it?
Up under the bed. Hid way up under there and back in the corner. The old room didn't have no lights, you know, no electric lights and nothing, just lamps. And I had a little hole back there in the wall. I poked it up in there. And I said, you didn't know where it was neither. She said, I did. I knew where it was the first time you put it. I'm so glad you wasn't one of them jokes. And so, anyhow, she told me where it was. She said, well, I've been watching it for you, too, so they wouldn't get your money. I said, well, I'm glad you did, because I'll tell you right now, there's been a nasty fight in here about my money. And so she said, I watched out for that. So that was the beginning of my life as a salesman. See, that was the beginning, but you got to have it in you to do it if you want to do it.
Yeah.
And of course, I'd go down there, and if he get his change out there, he didn't have quite enough, I'd deal with him, get what he had.
We'll take his money somewhere.
And that's where I started from. And then I got to where I could sell chickens.
Yeah.
Is that her?
Oh, that's Grandma.
Oh, okay. I got to where I could sell most anything. And that I carried, you know. I carried some chickens, cherries, peaches, watermelons, cantaloupes, tomatoes, and all that stuff. And I loved it. I just loved it. That saved me a good little bit of money.
What did you do with the money?
I bought me some clothes. I was hoping I could go back to school, but I need some clothes anyhow. Them old overalls we had, all I had, they wore out. And didn't have no money. Mom and them bought what they could. They didn't have no money neither. Didn't make no money on the farm then. But anyhow, she was right. And I told somebody I didn't perform but one big operation while I was outside there, you know. They said, what'd you operate on? I said, a big old rooster. A big old sucker. He come across the yard there one day. He barely could walk. And I said, man, you ailing. And I went and told my mother about him. I said, oh, rooster, he's walking like he's about dead. She said, he is. He's going to die. I said, what's the matter with him? She said, I don't know. I said, well, I better give him a physical, to tell you the truth. I called that sucker. I carried him out there, laid him over on a little table, and I went on and mouth on him. You ever see chickens crawl up on his neck? That's where food goes when he first puts it in his swallow. It prepares it for the stomach. See? And I felt those crawlers about that big, hard as a rock. And I said, man, you stopped up. I said, you ain't got no food going in your stomach. So anyhow, I went and got my daddy's straight razor, and that like got me in trouble. And what they shave with,
Yeah.
straight razor. I went out there and tied old kid up, picked them feathers off, and then I split him open. I ain't never seen him in a different kind of bugs in that. In there. He had a pile of them. And I said, I got to see what stopped up. So I got them all out there, and right down in there, what come out that crawl to go into the stomach.
Uh-huh.
And old June bug, old hard shell,
Yeah.
he stuck up out of it.
Yeah. You got to get it out?
I thought that song going out of there and got me some fine white thread and a needle, and I sewed that rascal up. I don't know, I wasn't old neither. And I sewed him up. Somebody said, what you do with him then? I said, put him in intensive care. What? Put him in intensive care. What was that? I said, a chicken coop. You know a chicken coop where you put them in there and feed them and keep them up. I put him in there so he wouldn't get out and eat things he shouldn't. I said, that boy was hungry. I could feel his breastbone real good. And so I put him in there and feed him soft feed for a little while, you know, bread, little things. And then finally I gave him some fine grain, you know, this little fine stuff. And finally, my incision, about that long, looked like he it about well, so I took it out. And about a week later, I turned him out. And I said, all right now, you better lay all them June bugs, because I might not be here next time. And about next day, he come across the yard, boy, he right back and he crowed. He ready to go. And so that was my first
He lived?
Huh?
It lived?
Yeah, he lived.
That's funny.
I told him next time I seen him, he done got with the hen walking around and trying to talk to him. And I said, he's ready for business. And that sucker, brand new in about 3 weeks. He's ready to go.
That's funny.
So I got him straightened up. So that told you a little something about I like to do different things.
Sounds like Curtis. He like
Yeah.
that too. All right, here's another set of questions, different topics. Tell me how you met Grandmama.
How, what?
Met Grandmama.
Well, she run a machine down there in the cloth room. They call it inspecting machines. That's where the cloth come across and they inspect it and then put it on rolls and then they bring it off and put it over on a folding machine like I run. And I met her. She come past there one day and I turned around and looked at her right good. I said, oh no, that there, she looks pretty foul. And we just got to swap and talk. And finally I told her I want to get a date. And they were strict on girls then, you know. So I went to the house. She gave me a date.
Where'd you go?
To her house.
Yeah.
And lived down at the mill. Well, I went up there. And we got to go in together. I mean, they didn't let them go nowhere, you know, in cars with anybody or something. So I had to do my dating at the house. And, you know, the living room.
Yeah.
There. And we dated there. And finally, I asked her, you know, about marrying me. And she agreed to go through that. No preacher, Bert, down there, next to where we live at all, you're going down the road, Cape of Chapel, down to that part that Preacher Bert lived there. I went up there one day and I said, Preacher Burke, he was a baseball coach for us, you know. And he told me one day there's three men on base, there's two out, and the last of the ninth inning. And I come to bat. And he told me, says, boy, get me a hit. Get me a hit. When you get married, I'll marry you free.
I know what you did.
And so anyhow, I got one over the third baseman head down the line and won the ball game. He come over and picked me up, like to broke my neck, and big old sucker. So anyhow, I told him I wanted to get married later on, that sometime after that, and he said, when you want to go? I said, Saturday evening. He said, that's quick, ain't it? I said, yes, sir. We get ready, we're ready. So he married me. And I told him, I said, you remember that day you told me something about a hit? If I got that thing, you might kind of do something like this, kind of on the cuff. Yeah, boy, you know me. I'll fix you up here the rest of your days. So he married me. And I gave him $2. That was big money then. And I told him I had to give you something. Because I think she's worth that. So we've been together now almost 70 years.
Wow. How long did you know her before you got married?
I don't know. You have to ask her. I don't keep up with nothing like that. She does. Lil.
Sir,
How long have you been knowing me before I asked you to let's get married?
2 years.
2 years? He took his time,
2
though.
years when we got married.
Yeah.
What's he telling you?
He didn't know.
I know, but what's he telling about
I just asked how you met you.
me?
I thought you looked pretty foul.
He talked, that's not on there. He talked between the girl he was working with, and he'd tell her what to tell me.
Ah.
I had to mediate.
You had a mediator.
Sure, I had to have it. I couldn't do all that talking.
Yeah. That's funny.
I got a picture. She was at our 60th anniversary
Really?
of your house. I mean, yeah.
The woman that was his go-between?
One tied us up.
Yeah.
We worked together.
Yeah.
She worked with him on the folder,
Yeah.
and then I worked across the room. You know?
Oh, wow. That's funny.
She kept an eye on me all the time. Every time I give her kind of another new one that come in there, kind of once over, you know, she said, all right now, better not start no stuff. I'll go over there and tell her.
So, how would you describe Grandmama to someone?
How'd I describe her when?
Right now.
Right now?
Or just...
Well, I'll say this. I don't think I could go anywhere and pick anybody that would suit me any better than what I got. Because she is a wonderful lady as far as the house, the children, and another thing too, she can put a good meal on the table anytime you want it. And that counts a whole lot. A lot of them back then didn't do that. But she's just all around person. And she's a good mechanic. She can figure out things I can't even figure out. In fact, I don't try, I turn it over to her. And we've been together, and somebody said, did you ever hit your wife in them 70 years almost? I said, no. Did you ever think about it? I said, one time I did. I draw it back. They said, why'd you quit? I said, I didn't like the looks of the expression she gave me. I said, I never did like for nobody to kind of close their eyes and look at me with two slits. Because when they close their eyes and give you nothing but slits they're looking at you through, they figuring what they're going to do to you. And I said I didn't like the way she looked at me through them two slits. I just made up a lot of jokes. We got married. Come right out there in about an hour. We was on our way. We back going towards home, going towards their house. Done got tied up. Been together ever since.
So what's the secret to being married that long?
Well, the thing about marriage is a two-way thing. It's not a one-person deal. It's two-way. That means if he does his part and she does her part, they usually don't have no trouble. Very little. Because each one feels like that they're a part of it. And they got a part to do. Do your part, she do hers. And if she does hers, then shouldn't be any reason.
All right, how about, what was the most difficult thing about raising children?
You know, I don't know. Well and truly, I had pretty good, come pretty easy with me and my children. It comes pretty easy because they just, I was good to them, but when I, just told them something that what I really meant, that's the way it was. And
so when you say you were strict or lenient, were you strict?
No, I wasn't strict. I just almost one of them, don't you know? I want to be that way. But I also explained to them now that there is a limit to a lot of things. And if you get out of line, I get out of line with you and put you back in. And I never had to beat them. I whip them. I whipped Joyce a time or two because she had diabetes and I didn't know it. And she'd just get upset and just get all out of sorts. But his diabetes working on her, I didn't know it. And I gave her a spanking or two with this belt. But I found out then what was happening. And no more of that.
Well, tell me about each one of your children. I'll say their name and you can just tell me what comes to mind about them. Okay, how about Joyce?
Well, it's pretty hard to separate them. They all have been good for me and love with their mother. They never have been one that give us any trouble much. And Joyce, that's the one that had diabetes. That's the only thing that we had to realize that she didn't feel good a lot of times, and we'd work with her to help her through whatever was bothering her till she got straight. He just always was a good little boy. I don't think he wanted him a beagle hound or something though to get ready to go hunting.
Yeah, he hasn't changed, has he?
Yeah, and Curtis, he's a little different. He done different things. Martha, she's no trouble. We sit down and have talks sometime, and I just tell them about things I didn't want them to do. And I'm going to be nice to you up until we bump into something like that. And if you go ahead and cross me and do things that I didn't like, and it's going to be different. I'm going to get with you. But we didn't have much trouble.
All right. Let's see. We talked about you wanting to be a doctor. I didn't know that. What was your first job that was like a real paying job?
You know, it used to be the country roads. The farmers, the county would hire the farmers with mules, you know, and they had these, what's called, sand wagon, bodies, you know, you put planks on there you could take out, you know, and sides you could take off. Sand beds, they called it. And in August, when we laid by our crops, and farmers, the county would hire them to go to these pits where you get topsoil, and they'd pay you so much a load to haul it, unload it, you know, and but they'd let me take a load one day. Of course, a lot of times they had a man there that would take a plank off with you, see, and let it down, keep from having two paying them. And I had the first paying job I ever had. But I worked in a grocery store over at the Baldwin Mill when I got married. I delivered groceries for this fellow. That was another time that I had, but I was already in that clothroom when I met my wife, though. I was making money there, but the first time, I reckon would be on the farm when we hauled that, call them topsoil wagons, sand wagons, it was topsoil we hauled.
How much would they pay you?
Now, the first paying job, really, that I had, I went to work for Aragon Baldwin Cotton Mill. And they gave me a job sweeping. That was my first job on the payroll. And they gave me 10 cents an hour, 55 hours a week. I made $5.50 for 55 hours. Thought I was rich. When I got that $5 and looked down in that ticket and that envelope they had it in, I felt like I was ready to go buy something. Because now you could take a nickel in and buy something with it. You can't buy nothing now with that. But that first job I had, $5.50. I put that in my pocket and looked like I swelled up when I got it. But I was stepping. First money I'd ever had. I mean, I'd get nickels maybe sometime from your daddy. 10 cents an hour, 55 hours a week. Worked 10 hours a day for $1.
It's amazing. So what do you think your biggest, what was the biggest factor in you being successful in business?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think was the biggest reason you were successful in business?
I was a fellow that determined. I was hard to whip. If they can't do it one way, I'll try it on another. And that still didn't stop me. I'd be coming back in a little while with something else I tried. I just stayed with it till I worked it out if I could. I didn't get upset and walk away.
All right, I got a few more. Tell me who the person was in your life that had the most positive influence.
Most positive influence?
Yeah.
My mother.
Why is that? Why?
Because I believed her. And she told me things that I found out was true. And she also told me that I was going to do well in life because she's seen something. My mother. When I get sick, of course, I did get to help take care of her in her later years. She owned a little house. They stayed in the farmhouses all the time, and when they moved, they got old, they didn't have no house. They lived in an old house they'd rent or something. She said, I just want a little house, like a big old room to sit here, and big old bedroom, then my kitchen, my bathroom. That's what I'd love to have someday, but I won't never have it. I said, you don't know. So that little house is sitting right out there. Me and Bertie built it. Built her little house like she wanted it. But she had to go to the nursing home. She fell and broke her hip, her pelvis. But the last thing she ever told me, she said, Fred, I want you to listen to me now. She said, I want to go home. She couldn't walk, you know. She said, I want to go home. And said, I can make it. I can do my own work. I said, you can't even walk, Mom. She said, I'll find a way. I said, no, you can't do that. That was the last thing she wanted to do, go home. I want you to go, no, she called it my little house. It's sitting right out there on those sides.
How long did she live there? How long did she live there?
Oh, I reckon Mama was out there 5 or 6 years. I think she was. And she fell off the old rug, stepped on it like that, and it slipped and broke her pelvis. She that broke up her joy. My daddy died out there. He had cancer. He had prostate cancer. If he'd been living today, they'd have cured him. But the old doctor he went to told him he had kidney trouble.
Oh, well.
Kidney trouble. But I stuck with them during their sickness, stuck with them.